Welcome to Season 3 of Trap Talk.
Brought to you by Craigoff, the choice of champions.
All right, folks, we got to take a quick second and give a huge shout out to our title sponsor, Craigoff. Me and Ricky both shoot them. We both love them.
Yeah, best gun in the industry. I shoot them. I sell them. Nothing better, folks. Get yourself a Craigoff. Your scores will increase.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky's got hundreds and hundreds of hundreds with his. I mean, I've got a few hundreds, but I'm always working to get a little bit better, and they definitely help me, that's for sure. So on top of that, we also got to thank Winnig. I'm wearing the shirt today. Love this shirt. If you're down at the Grand, pick one up.
Yeah, Winnig, like I said, Zach, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds with my Winnig stock. You know, get a hold of Bobby, Luke, Bill, get an appointment set up. They will make you a better shooter with that Winnig stock.
Of course, yeah. The Grand's the great place to do it. Give them a call. Get on their book. It's worth your time.
Just remember, winners shoot Winnigs.
With that being said,
let's get back to the show.
Welcome back to another episode of Trap Talk. I'm your host, Zach Nannini. I'm here with my co-host, Richard Marshall Jr. It is Tuesday, even though we're releasing this on Friday, and we had the pleasure of bringing Mr. Dagen Voitman on the show. Welcome to the show yet again, Dagen, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Thanks for having me. It's always a great time to be on it.
Hey, you know, we try to have fun. We try to keep it interesting. You know, Ricky, we really don't need to introduce Dagen because we introduced him before, but tell the folks what's been going on. Give them some highlights of what Dagen's been pounding some stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did a little research earlier in between laying on top of my fifth wheel fixing the roof for 2 hours with Tyler from getting wet at the Iowa State shoot. You know, people were getting wet outside. I was getting wet inside. But the last 3 years at the Wisconsin State shoot, Dagen just cannot shoot the high overall without breaking a 1090. It's not a 1091. It's not a 1089. It's a 1090. So, Dagen, what is that? I mean, is it just your number?
But it must be. I mean, I guess.
You know, so he breaks 1090 at Wisconsin the last 3 years. And then this year at Iowa, you had a 1085. So, was it 1085, Zach?
1083, I thought.
1083. Yeah, that's right, because Ian had a 1081.
You're slacking. Yeah,
what happened? I mean, the mustard slipped off the hot dog? Well, I mean,
7 more birds, Dagen. Why the hell are you missing 7 more birds, huh?
The shooters want to know what happened. What's the difference?
I mean, Wisconsin, obviously, they throw a great target. I mean, if you haven't been there, it's definitely a place to put on your bucket list. But I mean, Iowa, I mean, they throw a great target too. I mean, there was some stuff out of their control. It was a lot darker, you know, definitely had more wind. I mean, there was stuff out of Iowa's control. So, I mean, it's not all on target setting.
So you're saying that if the wind comes in, the darkness comes in, then you're human and you might miss a bird. But if we put a nice blue sky target out there, then 99 average just bring it to the bank.
So you're saying the people have a chance is what you're saying, Dagen. Listen.
Oh, man.
You know, I was at both shoots. And, you know, Dagen started the overall at the Wisconsin State shoot with 100, started the shoot with 100 in the handicap and ended the shoot with 100 in the handicap. So it seems like, you know, Wisconsin's one of your, like, just perfect places to shoot for you.
Yeah.
Now,
do you think that's your favorite place to shoot, Dagen, or what? Like, if you were to say where you think you could hit the most birds, where would you say you want to go?
I'm either going to Wisconsin or Brittany. Those two for me are hands down my favorite.
That's what I heard, but someone told me, they said, oh yeah, he likes Brittany better than Wisconsin. I said, well, he shoots better at Wisconsin, so what the heck?
Yeah.
So I've never been to Wisconsin myself, Dagen. So for the people that haven't been to Wisconsin, you know, describe what it's like. What's the target presentation? What are the houses like? Why is it so special?
Yeah, so I would say the house, at least for me, I feel like the house height's kind of similar to the Grand. They're kind of, you know, about that same kind of size.
So taller houses.
Taller houses, yep. And then for the background, it's pretty wide open. I mean, you got, I don't know, quite a ways of distance, then you got a row of trees. The east end has some shorter trees, and then they kind of get taller as you get kind of, I don't know, probably a third of the way through, and then just blue sky after that.
Yeah, so you don't really see the trees much.
No, I mean, targets coming in out of green, on the green, and then into blue sky.
Yeah, you don't like what Ricky was saying. You don't really see the trees
Yeah.
at all. I mean, I
People-
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, people always go, well, there's trees back there. I'm like, well, if you're looking, half mile away,
Yeah.
that's not very good.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of targets flying at half mile away usually.
No, not at all. But it is, you broke 200s this year at Wisconsin.
Yep.
I know, was it in 23 you also broke 200s?
I think I only had one that year.
Or one that year? I know
think
it seems like
Slacking.
every year it's like Wisconsin. So then we went to Iowa, like we talked about, 1083, which is still a stellar performance because you broke a stellar 98 on, was that Friday's handicap or Thursday's handicap at Iowa?
That was Thursday's morning handicap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
a good
beast.
score.
Yeah. I mean, that was a loner. And people that weren't there, it was very overcast and just weird lighting. We couldn't, I broke 92 and I was happy to get out of that.
Yeah, I think I had a 91 and I was like, man, I shot good today. And then Dagen had a 98 and I said, oh, I shot bad today. just bring me back to reality, Dagen. That's what we're going to do. But I do want to talk about that. So when you have a day where the targets are lower visibility, a little bit of wind, what's changing in your game or what's going on in your head, if there's anything?
Yeah, so I already wear a light lens, but obviously I think on those days, especially when it's overcast lighting, I think it's kind of a must to go with a light lens. I know some people tend to not go as light as they probably should just in hope, worrying about the sun coming out, but I do really think you really got to prepare for the darkness on those days. So I think for me, going to a light lens, I think is what helps me the most. And other than that, I don't really change much,
Now,
Obviously, I know I'm going to be seeing them a little bit slower, so you're kind of just in your head, you're going to be shooting slightly different than normal, and that's just
You're not breaking them quite at the same spot you would if a perfect day where you have vision. The break points are going out just a little bit because you're not seeing the target as well off the arm, obviously, because of the lower light. But then you're compensating for that with some low light lenses, either like light yellows or close to clear, something along those lines.
Yeah,
So-
I like that 80s range in the Pilas. It's kind of what I like. on
and
those days.
how long have you been shooting with Pilas now? Just 2 years?
2 years. I switched at Wisconsin last year.
Last year, and that was thankful to Justin Debris. So everybody out there that, if you're mad about how good Dagan's shooting, you can call Justin Debris and voice your opinion to Justin.
You didn't need to have them clear
Shout out
lenses.
to Justin
Go,
Debris.
Go back to whatever you had. I mean, he was breaking 1190s before with the other glasses, apparently. So,
190, but you always throw an extra 100 in there.
yeah,
So
hey, why not get one when you can?
Yeah. But now with the Pilas, do you have a sponsorship with Pila?
No.
So
No,
Pila, you're out there. I mean, you got one of the best shooters in the world, and you're not sponsoring him.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
We're plugging you hard today, Dagan. This is the
We're
plug
helping
Dagan.
you out,
This
Dagan.
is the plug Dagan show.
It is. We're helping you out. Your dad's been struggling. He's got to sleep in the back of the camper now, and I mean, things are tough on Mike Voigtman. It was really tough there at Iowa and Wisconsin on Mike. So we like giving Mike some crap, but no. In all honesty, though, I know I was watching you shoot the one day you shot in front of us there at Wisconsin, I think it was, and you could tell with the targets in good light, you are shooting them a little quicker, and then in the low light, especially like shoot-offs or something, you tend to drag them out. And that's just trigger control.
Yeah.
And that for the people out there, that's one thing is, you want to shoot them when you're on them. So if you can't see them, you don't just pull the trigger. And it seems like a lot of the average shooters, that's what they do wrong, is they're just thinking, oh, I got to shoot now. And that's one of the downsides too. And nothing against them, but like the Garmin X Hero, it has a time deal on it. So I see a lot of these kids shooting, and they're like, oh, I could shoot it in 0.35 or 0.44. And I'm like, that does nothing for your game. So.
Yeah, I mean, you do break them pretty quick, though, Dagan. I mean, that target ain't in the air very long. It's just kind of like, there it is, and there it isn't.
Yeah.
So Dagan, consistently shooting well right now. I'd say you're in your prime of the summer where you're getting ready for the Grand. when you're breaking these scores that most people would never even dream of, 99 average plus overalls, are you feeling nerves? Are you like, what's going on in your head when you're like, yep, I'm on a 99 pace again, and I'm just kind of rattling the wrong events? Is it nothing for you? Is it just another clay target, or do you feel things like other people feel?
Obviously, it's in the back of your head. I mean, anyone that's on a good score or on a good run, it's always in the back of your head. But I just try to think about it as least as I can. You know, it's at the end of the day, the next target's the only one that matters. So it doesn't really matter if you're 200 straight, or 200 straight or whatever. It's really just that next target that matters. You missed the 3 before, you still got to hit the next one. It's just, no matter if you're on a winning streak or losing streak, the next one's what really matters. So I just try to think about that as much as I can.
And when I see you doing that, I mean, the only thing that I could recognize, because I watch you shoot quite a bit, is whether you're hitting them or missing them, you really, really seem consistent with your setup process. I mean, from what I've noticed, you don't close your gun until it's your turn. And then when it's your turn, you close your gun and you do the whole mounting process that you do. But it looks the same every time, and it takes about at the same time every time. I bet if we were to time it, it'd probably be within a second, one way or the other, from when you call pull. I mean, have you really worked on refining that process and that timing, or is it just natural to you?
Yes, I've really worked on that. I think the most important thing is obviously seeing the target, but I think a lot of things people rush or don't take the time as your pre-shot. I mean, if your gun's not mounted correctly, or if you're not eyes are not set in the right spot, I mean, you're already off to a bad start. So I think a lot of people I shouldn't say overlook, but I think a lot more people do it, but they don't emphasize it as much as I think they should. I think there's a lot to be gained in the pre-shot routine than.
What are the things that you're trying to do in that pre-shot routine? Like as far as the way you keep your head up, the way you mount to the gun, the pressure, like what are the things that you would say are the Dagen Voitman tips for how you create that success?
Yes, I think coming up with a system to where you can mount the gun exactly the same every single time. So that's kind of how you see how I kind of like roll, I don't know really how to explain it, but I kind of
roll the shoulder.
I kind of roll the shoulder. For me, I found like if I do that, I can kind of always mount the gun in the same spot every single time, and it's going to feel comfortable. It's going to feel the same. And it just, again, it puts you off to a good start, since the first thing you need to do is mount the gun, I think. So.
Well, and when you do that, so Dagan, when we were shooting at Iowa in the Shootoff, I was watching that, as I do. I mean, I watch targets, but I'll look over and see. And you do shoot with your left arm completely extended straight.
Yep.
So, and that, when you do that, it reminds me of Billy Butenball, which I know Billy Butenball, the skeet shooter, world champion skeet shooter, good friend of ours. But that's how he shoots skeet. And then he shot trap that way, but he always struggled a little bit, handicapped, because he was always, being slow, where you're not slow. I mean, your reaction time, of course, what are you now, 23?
Yeah, 23, yes.
More than half my age. So, but it does help. But have you always shot that way, with your hand that way?
I've always shot with extended, maybe not always that extended. I've kind of noticed over the years that it just really helps me control the gun. I mean, it's not a precise sport, but you also got to be precise. So I kind of like having my hand out there so I can really control the gun a lot better than if it was closer to the receiver.
All right, Trap Talk listeners, let's take a couple seconds and thank a couple more sponsors. First of all, Remington's been with us since day one. I've been shooting these shells since 2007. I shoot the Nitro 27 from the 27-yard line, ounce and eighth, 7.5, and STS, ounce and eighth, eighths for singles and doubles. They've worked great for me, as they do a lot of top shooters all around the country. Give them a try. Don't forget the Gun Club line when you're practicing and you're wanting to save a little bit of money.
We'd also like to thank another sponsor, Outlaw Engineering. Randy Freston, R2. I've known Randy since 1988. They do engineering, surveying, drafting, GIS, civil, structural, land development, wetland permitting. They do it all.
And they're friends of trap shooters. I mean, they're a trap shooting family. They've been in the ATA forever. His dad's been involved. They're involved. They're a beautiful family. They're great people. And we just love that they listen to the show, and we love that they support Trap Talk.
Yeah, his dad was past president in 1989. So I really want to thank those guys for the support.
Hey, Trap Talk listeners, we got to take a real quick break, and we got to thank Ron Prescott from Mid-State Precious Metals for everything they do for the trap shooting community, coast to coast, for all your gold and silver buying needs. And on top of that, new announcement, they're a sponsor of the 126th Grand American.
Finally, he said it right, folks. Grand American. Yeah, Ron is a great guy. He's a sponsor of the Backfence Shootout at Nevada State Shoot and Ohio State Shoot. And also, we got our gold for our Trap Talk event at Nevada State Shoot. And the 77th annual Nevada State Shoot, they bought all theirs from him. 680 ounces of silver to be exact, folks. You're missing out if you're not there.
That's a lot of silver. And honestly, if you're not buying from Ron, you're probably overpaying. So whether you're buying it for your gun clubs or your shoots or for your personal use, you got to give them a try because they're big supporters of the Trap Shooting Nation. So it's awesome. All right, Trap Talk listeners, we got to take a quick break and we got to welcome a new sponsor to the show, RGS Bore Stripper. It's a great product. Ricky, tell them how they can find it.
Go to their website, rgsguncleaner.com. You can get the 1 8-ounce bottle, free shipping, 2 8-ounce bottle, and you get the 2-ounce travel bottle, and it's free shipping also, or just get the little 2-ounce bottle for travel.
Yeah, they sent me some of this product, and I used it on my Krieghoff choke tubes the other day, and it got the plastic out like in a minute, and it was super cool and super good. So if you like cleaning your gun, you like eliminating plastic, and you like shiny bores, give them a try for sure. Thank you so much for supporting the show.
Yeah, we'd really like to thank John Weber, the owner, for the support. He's doing an awesome job.
Yeah, we really want to thank John. We appreciate the support of the show. Anybody that supports Trap Talk, you guys need to support them and get this stuff because it's awesome. All right, folks, we got to take a real quick break and acknowledge the official target of the ATA, White Flyer. They've been sponsoring us since the beginning, and they make a great target. What do you think, Rick?
It's the best target in the ATA. Shout out to everybody there, all the reps, Bill Daniels, Josh Taylor, Nick Arnold, Robert Crow, everything they do for the sport and all the shoots. Really appreciate it.
They're always there. They're always trying to make a better target, and they're always supporting the game that we love so much. With that being said,
let's get back to the show. Okay.
So for you, when you have it out there like that, are you trying to pull it back so that you're controlling everything and moving from the back of your body? Or do you ever use that front hand to finish a shot in a extreme situation?
I would say I'm kind of more using the back of my body. I'm kind of just using it there to kind of control the gun.
You're keeping everything, you're smooth. And you're very upright, you're very smooth. And honestly, I don't know how you move it so fast in handicap because, where you're breaking the handicap target, is probably a little bit closer. A little bit closer than where you break the singles target, which I don't know how you do that, but you do it. And I'm like, okay, he's all upright. He's completely comfortable. He's still. And the only thing I will say is you have the stillest gun I think I've ever seen. Like when you call pull, I don't see any movement in a left, right direction at all. It's like come perfectly still if you can be. And then once the target goes, you're just like, dink and bang, and it's just over.
Yeah.
Well, and to that note, I noticed in the shoot-off, I don't know if you noticed this, Dagan, but you were getting a lot of slow pulls.
Yeah, I tend to get a lot of slow pulls. I don't know if it's just the way I call. It's something that I kind of know I get a lot of them, so I just do my best to
just deal with it.
Yeah. If I know I'm going to get a slow one, it's okay. But it's when it catches you off guard, it's like, oh, I'm calling a slow pull on that one. I'm not shooting that one. But if I know they're coming, you can kind of shoot them still.
Yeah,
well, if you're still like you are, like as still as you are, you don't have to worry about the slow pull if you're not moving on the call, right, Rick?
Well, yes and no. It's still your eyes will still move normally. Your gun doesn't always move. Because I shot a couple slow pulls in one of the rounds, and I know Glow kind of looked over at Krause like, what are you doing? I didn't move the gun. I did it in the event a couple times also and didn't move the gun. And then I did it on a couple of them. I did move the gun, and I'm like, slow. But I did notice that on your call, it was more like the target would go on, at the end of your call.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, and then when we got into the rounds where where they said they were going to change the targets and they basically took all the spring off. And I'm like, well, God, we don't even have to move our guns here, and that didn't matter. But then when they added the spring, that's when it really, can come into play because all your eye has to do is move a centimeter off the barrel, which out in the distance could be 10 feet. And then the target goes, and then and then, a little stab move, and then that happens. But,
yeah, I mean, when the targets are flatter and softer like that, I mean, that's just less gun barrel movement. It didn't seem to like you had any issue with that little. I mean, that doesn't bother you at all, does it?
No, no. I honestly prefer probably lower targets. I'm not saying like illegally low, but I'd prefer a lower set target than a higher one anyways. So
Less movement.
yes.
yeah.
So for you, is your whole game built on less movement? Are you just trying to make the smallest move you can to the bird from whatever position you're at?
Yes and no. I'd say I kind of try to set myself up to be just kind of be the most efficient way I can to move the gun. I'm going to try to find the shortest, most efficient way from point A to point B, and that's kind of how I kind of set up my whole points. Not necessarily setting up for a certain target, but just how can I set up in a way where I can get to point A to point B from any type of target the most efficient way.
So we've asked this before, but for people that might not have listened to your show before, what are your hold points in singles and doubles and handicap going through each position?
Yes. So for doubles, pretty simple. It's just I kind of just line straight up on the first bird. I always shoot the straightaway, so I always just kind of line straight up on the straightaway. Quick little small move up to shoot the
Close
first.
to the break point?
Yes, pretty close to the break point. Yep. I have probably. Oh, I don't know. I guess I don't know how much gun movement, but not much. So that's kind of what I do for
2,
doubles.
3, 4 feet above the house.
Yeah.
You're almost parallel probably for you
Pretty close
on that first shot of doubles.
Yep. And then for singles and handicap, I pretty much have the same hold point, but as I shoot handicap, I kind of bring everything in. So like on post 1 and 5, I kind of hold off the corner of the house probably half a foot to a foot off the corner on singles, and then for handicap, it's probably closer to that half a foot or 4 inches or whatever, kind of as you bring it in. It all really depends on what the targets are. If they're higher, I kind of tend to go out more. And if they're lower, I kind of bring it in. So I kind of vary my hold point depending on how the targets are flying. So it's kind of hard to say this is exactly how I hold on posts 1 and 5, but it's always going to be off the corner of the house.
So off the corner and above in singles and doubles. And then if you're going to do anything in handicap, you're coming down and in.
Yes, correct.
Down and in.
Then,
and the flatter the target, the more down and in you're going. If it's really, really, really flat, you might be down all the way on the house if it's that flat.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Trap Talk listeners, we got to take a real quick break, and I've got something that I'm so excited to announce. Trap Shooting USA has now become the official magazine of the Trap Talk podcast.
No, it's not only Trap Shooting USA now. It's Wing and Clay Life, Lady Outdoor Lifestyles, and Clay Shooting USA.
I'm just really excited because they make such a high-quality magazine. I mean, if you guys haven't had these magazines and you actually get to touch them in your hands, they've got really thick paper, they're really glossy, and they keep it really cool. I mean, I just love it.
The Traveling Gunsmith, and then in this newest episode, we have...
Oh, man. Look at those handsome guys. I love this. I love it. So also on top of that, Outdoor Pursuits Media, Matt, he's decided that he's going to give away a shotgun at the Grand American this year at our live podcast studio. If you weren't there last year, you missed out. You need to be there this year. It's going to be great. The only thing you have to do is either renew or subscribe to any one of these magazines, and you're going to be in for the drawing for the gun. And we're going to have all that information in the future. Just look out for it, and we'll keep you updated for sure.
With that, let's get back to the show.
Now, do you change the targets much, Dagan?
Not. I mean, we probably all summer probably change the targets 5 to 7 times. I mean, less than 10 times. We don't really change them too often. If they're extremely high where they're getting close to being illegally high, we kind of lower them. But other than that, we kind of just shoot everything.
Yeah, I know, like at Iowa, they talked about throwing a 9 to 9.5 foot target. And that, because we shot on the same bank most of the time till we had some target problems or machine problems there at Iowa. And on bank 13, I know they went out and Steve Glasgow, they put the T-bar up and threw them at 9 foot, and they were like 42.5 mile an hour. And I thought it was a great target. And I think that was the day. I think Wyatt broke a 98 in the handicap. I think that was Friday. And, they were good targets. And that's what I would like to see the ATA implement a deal that says, listen, they need to be a minimum of this and a maximum of this, and that's it.
Yes.
And, I think that would be beneficial instead of all the, because, we had the one day we changed targets and, guy was giving us crap about changing targets. I said, this is the second trap I've changed all year.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually don't change them. I said, if we're changing them, they're bad,
Yes.
and that's what it was. And I just like to see it. But in the same breath is have it from bank 1 to like Iowa bank 17, every trap the same.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's hard to do because usually you have setting committees where you have one group of guys set these 5 traps, one group of guys set these 5 traps, one group of guys set these 5 traps, and at the end of the day, they might have a speed on that gun that they're setting to, but then when they're setting the height, even if they're using the bar, there's still an eyeball thing where the guy's like, yeah, a little higher, a little lower, one way or the other. And
if it hitting the 9 foot, if you have a 9 foot or 9.5 foot bar and it hits the bar 3 or 4 or 5 times at that speed, then you leave it and move on. And then if they're set to that, but a lot of them don't do that. They just set a speed and they eyeball, which I think is totally BS. I think they need to, if we're going to set them, and they're paid to set them, especially at the Grand. So we'll see how the targets vary at the Grand. Because this year, I usually shoot down on banks 2, 3, 4 for everything. Well, this year we're down there in the prelims, but the main Grand, we're down on the east side too a little bit. So I'm going to see if there's a difference. And, I just think it should be fair across the board for everybody. And then everybody's got the equal chance to.
The only thing you can't really play around, because I've done this on the West Coast a lot, especially if you shoot in like Wyoming or Sunnyvale or whatever. When you're shooting over a canyon, then you can't use, you can't use the stake at some level, right? So you have to, there's positions in the world where, we can't come in with the stake, but thankfully in the Midwest, Iowa, Wisconsin, the Grand, most of these places that we're shooting these big shoots, you could very well go out there and have a stake and run it and hit the bar, whatever that bar level needs to be, and call it. And if someone gets to a point where they're like, hey, I want to reset it, you bring the bar out and you put it out there. And if the target hits the bar, you don't change it. You don't change it. Now, I think it would almost have to be a hooping system where there's a bottom of the hoop and a top of the hoop.
Well, they used to make the bars that way, Zach.
Yeah, I remember seeing them.
Literally like an 8-inch hole in them, and you just had to throw it through the hole.
How much easier could you get it?
Well, it's not like skeet where you got a hoop that's as big around as you, and
Hey, that wasn't very nice, Ricky.
I got one in, Dagen. He was shaming me yesterday. I got one in today.
Yeah, I beat him in one shoot off, and now he starts stabbing me.
No, but I really believe, I think, and especially, I just think like the Grand American, because that's our world championships, that they all should be the same for everybody, because Dagan, I don't think you shot on our trap with us in the shoot off on the right, the furthest one to the right that we shot.
No.
You shot the other two, and they were good. We got over there, and this target went zoom. And I looked over, and I was like, oh, and Ryan Glow said, damn. I mean,
because I got lucky. I got to hang out with you most of the night, Dagan.
Yeah, we did. We shot most of the time,
but that's the one thing. It's like, hey, make them consistent. But it was great, getting down the end. And that's what a couple of guys asked her, like, I'm surprised everybody wanted to, change the targets. And I said, well, it becomes a time, and, if we're going to do this, we can stand out here and shoot, and we still got the championship handicap.
Yes.
The next day. So it's kind of like, do you want to stand out here and shoot 600 straight in one night? I mean.
All right, folks, we got to take another quick break and thank one of our show sponsors, 73 Pointers Ranch, Jonesburg, Missouri, Rick and Carla Burke. Best place in the area to go shoot chuckers and pheasants and have a great time. Rick, we got to get you down there.
Yeah, I need to come in. Hopefully I can do some hunting with you guys and come to your the annual clay shoot in August right after the Grand.
It's a lot of fun. It's the Optimist Club charity shoot. They throw a charity shoot. They put it on, and it's wonderful. I think last year they had over 100 entries into it, and it's just a good time. With that being said,
let's get back to the show.
What's your personal opinion on that, Dagan? I mean, I know you agreed to it, but I never really talked to you offline about it. I mean, are you a big fan of saying, hey, let's get this done and let's make this more difficult? Or are you more of a fan of let's leave it the way it's supposed to be and let's just see who can go as long as possible?
Yeah, I see it both ways. A lot of times when I kind of shoot a lot of the shoot off just because I think it's the best practice for the grand. I mean, you're going to be in shoot offs. I try to, even if it is just for third place or if it is for yardage or whatever, I try to shoot as many as I can just because it's the best practice. So, like in that case where we already shot 200, we kind of made it through the bad, lighting and stuff. You got your good practice in that you needed for the grand. So I'm all for it, speeding up there. Obviously, if we didn't get to the bad lighting, obviously I might want to shoot. Let's keep shooting normal for, another
Let's keep shooting
30,
normal
40
for a
minutes,
while.
whatever, so we can get through this bad time so we can get prepared for the grand, and then let's beat them up.
And if it was the grand, I'm sure you would never agree to a change on that.
Yeah, and I think at the grand you have to just shoot it how it is, and it just is what it is.
So if we get in the clay target day and it comes down to you and I say, Dagan, let's lower the targets and back them off, you're going to say no?
Yeah.
He's gonna say not only no, hell no, Rick. We're gonna keep wearing these things out right in the slot. But I think
Dagan, let's switch guns.
I think at the grand that'd be kind of a disjustice to the event because I mean this is the singles event. I think you have to shoot it the way it was intended to be shot.
I agree with you 110% on that, and I know I've had people in the past ask me on stuff to do. Hey, and I'm like, well, if it's for a runner-up or a third, different story.
Yes,
but if it's for
the ring,
shooting the targets, and we're going to shoot the 200, and I'm going to quit after the 200.
Yep.
And
now what's the rule on that now? Is it currently one person stops, everyone stops, or is it what is that?
Yeah, as far as I know,
Dagan?
I want to say it was that, and then it sounded like they were almost, I don't know if it was true, but they almost sounded like it was going to go to like a majority, if half the people wanted to keep. I don't know if that was true or not. That's just kind of what I heard.
Well, they talked about that, but then they also talked about last year was saying they were going to shoot to completion. And then we got to the grand, and it was like, no one ever said that. And that came from a gentleman on the EC last year that actually told me that. And I'm like, okay, so I just think they need to put out shoot off rules, put them out there
in advance.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I personally, I'm if I got in a 4-day shoot off with Dagen Voitman, I would be like, this is not going to be good for me. But if I said, hey, I could shoot and this is going to be to completion tonight, I feel like people can get in the zone. Any one person can get in the zone that night. Clay target day, they broke a 200. They get the first 50 broke. Once you get the first 50 broke in the shoot off, you're rolling. That first box, you're figuring it out. Second box, okay. But you get the first 50, now you're 75, now you're 100. Now you're just kind of working boxes. And at that point, when you've got 5 or 10 guys that are all 100, 150, 200 deep, I would say it's anybody's game if you go all night. If you go until completion, I mean, you guys are shooting for that all-around spot and that overall spot every time, so I can understand why you want to conserve. But as a person just looking at it saying, well, how are we going to win a ring? Like, I would love it if they said, this is over tonight. I mean, if you go till 1 or 2 in the morning, somebody's going to miss. That's my opinion. That's my opinion because, by doing it to 200 birds and then saying, hey, we're going to do it again tomorrow, 200 birds and do it again tomorrow, guys can go 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row. I mean,
you take someone like Dagan, you take someone like myself, you take someone like Pat Lamont, Brandon Deal, which Brandon's shooting up a storm right now in singles, dominating on the East Coast right now also. But that's the other thing is you take that and it's the stamina part of it. And versus, and I agree, I see both ways because with teaching, a lot of students, I get the questions all the time. They're like, well, I've had my day at a shoot. I broke my first 100. And then I got in a shoot off and I broke another 150 and I won. And that's where I liked it in the years past where they shot the doubles off because you take a person that breaks their first 100 in doubles. Are they going to be able to break another 100 the next day? Probably not. You take someone like yourself, Dagan, like Zach, myself, any of the top All-American shooters, they're going to be able to break a couple, maybe 2, 3, that it's our advantage to carry over versus shooting off, So, but I also see the deal with the cost of targets, I mean,
yeah, it's reducing the cost, but it's it's also reducing the experience. And I think if you're going to have the platform of the Grand, I like the way they shut off the old doubles events and the old handicap events. Heck, I even really liked, I mean, the class singles, going out and shooting that deal. But I mean, I know Ricky hated it because he'd always break the class singles, then he'd have a shoot off. He'd like, this is dumb. And then we got to go. But
I'd go shoot 50. We had to shoot 50. We'd walk out there, shoot 50, and I'd just leave. And they're calling, they're like, hey, they want to shoot some more. And I'm like, nope, it says we can shoot 50 and be done, and I'm out of here.
that's it.
You know.
Yeah, because then they go to carryover on the rest. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It's just.
All right, folks, we need to take a quick second and get to a new show sponsor, Big Red Motorsports. Big Red, they're personal friends of mine, Jason and George Lee, and they're also a personal sponsor of mine.
Now, I'll say this. Ricky looked great driving around in that side-by-side. I got some free rides down at Tucson, the Autumn Grand. I think it's awesome that they deliver all across the country, and obviously they love trap shooters, they love trap shooting, and they're doing a great job.
Listen, they got Can-Am, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Triton trailers. Hit them up. We'll take care of you guys. With that being said,
Let's get to the show. It's the
we'll
Grand.
see.
It's a different shoot in my mind, the Grand. And Dagan, transitioning to that, is there anything that you're doing this week? I mean, we're going into the Grand. Your gun's hot. You just came off of 2 overall wins in a row that were, dominating overall wins. Is there anything you're going to be doing this week or going into the Grand to prepare for this marathon?
Yeah, kind of the same thing I always do. I always get done with Iowa, take, all the way up until Friday off. Don't shoot, don't touch the gun. And then I like to shoot Brittany. It's only, I think it's 700 targets is what the zone is. So it's not a lot of targets, but it's enough targets to get the gun swinging again and being ready for that first day on Wednesday instead of having that whole kind of week and a half of not touching the gun. And again, I think going to an event is a lot better of a practice than going to the range and just shooting singles, handicap, doubles, and practice trap. So I always like to go to Brittany just for that fact. It's a good warm up. It's a good get the gun moving, get in the right mindset.
nice.
So Thursday you go to Brittany.
Yes. And then I'll start shooting. I'll shoot the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then not touch the gun again until Wednesday. But I think, to me, I feel like 2 days is always just that Monday, Tuesday is just a great downtime. Don't think about shooting, relax, get ready for the 2,600 targets. So you don't want to overshoot yourself right before the Grand, but I also think you want to be shooting, you want to be ready. Yeah, you want to.
So when you go into the Grand, is there ever a time where you shoot a practice round before any of those events, or no? You just go in.
I never shoot a practice. I never shoot a practice target at an event. I think never. I mean, maybe it's a bad way of looking at it, but you can never not miss. So, say you're on a 400 long single run. Now you go to the practice trap, shoot another 25. Now you just put yourself closer to a miss because, I mean, everyone's going to miss eventually. So I feel like the more targets you shoot, the closer you get to missing. So
you're not wanting to waste your energy. You're looking at your energy as a limited, finite thing of energy, and you're like, I need to use this energy where it matters versus I'm going to go practice a box and waste a 25. I mean, that's a different way of looking at it for sure. Did you ever shoot practice rounds when you were coming up, or did you? I mean,
no. I mean, maybe it's another bad way, but I feel like if you're not ready by the time you're at the shoot, I mean, it's a little late. So I think you just got to be prepared for that first day, and then it just is what it is. If you're ready, you're ready. If you're not, you're not.
Yeah, no,
that makes sense.
That's one of the things. Like, I'll go down to the demo field at the Grand, and that's if I go out and shoot sporting clays with the guys, or Tyler wants to go shoot. We'll go shoot sporting clays. I'll go down to the demo field, and I'll shoot just 20 or 10, 2 from a post, whatever, handicap. And that's it. I want singles. If you can't figure out how to shoot singles or doubles, but handicap, just to whatever.
Yes, I agree with that. If you do go shoot the sporting clays or shoot something different, it's good to go to the practice trap.
It throws you off your game.
Yes, yeah. So I don't normally do any of that, so that's kind of why I don't. But like, if
you're pretty locked in, Dagan. I mean, you're getting up, you're shooting trap, you're eating the same things every day, you're drinking the same things.
Hey, Dagan, you want to go shoot sporting at the Grand?
After the Grand American Handicap, maybe.
We will then.
That'd be fun. I'll stay the extra day. I say we all stay the extra day, and then after the Grand American Handicap, we all go shoot 100 sporting clays. We see what happens.
We can go shoot when we're done shooting.
I'm in.
Zach, it'd be fine. And we'll bet and we'll get some of Zach's money, Dagan.
Hey, I'll get a spot. I need a spot on you guys. I'm not a sporting clay
You know
shooter.
what?
Me neither.
Spot got ran over.
All right, folks, we got to take a quick second and give a shout out to the Cardinal Center in Marengo, Ohio. They hold the Cardinal Classic, and they also hold the Ohio State Shoot, which is home of the first back fence shootout. Ricky, what do you think about Ohio?
Listen, I love the Cardinal Center. I actually broke the first 100 from the 27 there at their very first shoot ever. Great place, Jake Spangler and their whole clan there. They do an awesome job at running the shoots. The Ohio State shoots ran by the Ohio State Association. The Cardinal Classic's right after the Grand, so if you're looking for some more points right after the Grand, hit that up so you can get a little more points than old Zach here. But listen, it's a great shoot. Great facility.
It really is. I personally love the RVs. They've got great camping there. They've got a great time, good shoot, good target presentation. Go check it out. It's worth putting on your list. With that being said,
let's get back to the show. Any plans after the Grand then? You said maybe come to the Heartland?
That's a maybe, yep. If depending on work, if I'm kind of don't have much work, I'll probably come out. But if not, if I'm kind of jam-packed, I'm obviously going to get some work done. So it all depends on how we're going.
Is work played a lot into your shooting this summer? Because I noticed starting off, you started off a little slower this year, than last year.
Yeah, definitely with tax season getting done on April 15th, it definitely put a slow start to my practice, before the season. So I definitely didn't practice as much as I would have liked, but
that's okay. You're dominating right now, and I know they don't. I know Hunter Edwards. Shout out to Hunter, the Nebraska Class C singles champion. So he did make it all the way to AA now, he said, after traveling around. So that's good. Stealing those poor trophies from them Class C shooters. But, he set out a deal with the standings, and he goes, Dagen's 2 shoots aren't in yet. Wisconsin and Iowa aren't in yet. But I would think with the way the totals are that you're going to be right up at the top along with, me and Joey and Zach, it looks like. So, it'll be a battle at the Grand, but, looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great shoot. Looks like the weather could be a little hot,
Yeah, that's what I saw.
I know. I looked it up and I was like, oh, God. Well, no beer this year. All water and bourbon. Oh, yeah. Zach, you're back.
I think I'm back. We'll see.
Zach.
Can you hear me? I think I'm back.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. There you are.
Oh, perfect.
Well,
yeah, I could hear you guys. I could hear you, but it wasn't coming through on my end. But I like I said, I'm voting for Dagen to go to the Heartland Grand because I'd like to see if anybody could run the whole program. That'd be one of those things that make me laugh.
Well, Dagen said he might come for the weekend, Zach. He's got to work unlike you.
Well, a 400 out of 400 is good enough for me, I guess. I'll take that. I mean, I like watching records get broke.
It's possible at Stockdale's. Yeah. Dale throws a great target,
So Dagen, I know you're the king of consistency and, keeping things the same. Your routines are the same from what you eat in the morning to when you go to bed at night. I mean, you really seem like a very consistent, like you're not going out to the club with me and Ricky at 11 o'clock before the clay target. I mean, it's going to be, you're pretty much, you're catching Z's, you're doing the right thing. You're preparing yourself to be ready every single day. Is there any good advice that you would give to other shooters where you'd say, okay, this is the thing that I would tell you to focus on if you really want to be great?
Yeah, I think it's a fine line. Like, obviously I take it serious, but you also got to have fun. You're there to compete. You're there to try to, do as best you can, but also at the same time, you got to have fun. You got to, be lighthearted, joke around here and there. It's all about having fun. So I think you can't go too far on the fun side, but you can't go too far on the serious mode. You kind of got to find that.
I think I've been going too far on the fun side lately.
Got to find that good balance.
I haven't figured out that balance yet, Dagan. I was having fun. I mean, I can't lie to you and tell you that I didn't have a little bit of a headache waking up on Saturday morning going to those singles, but hey, they still broke.
Well, Dagan, we did, Zach, you weren't there yet, but we did have Dagan out till about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Before the shoot started with old Mike Voigtman. Mike decided to call Justin out on drinking, and that didn't go so well for Mike. Mike had a beer in his hand about every 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean Justin does know how to put a few away. I'll give him that big truck driver.
Hey, Justin was in Mike Jackson's bus, laying on the old air horn at midnight. So we were having a little fun. We had a couple days in there, so it was good. But yeah, you are correct, Dagan. And that's one of the things that, people out there always ask is, what do you do to prepare for a big shoot like the Grand? And that is the consistency. You don't want to stay up till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and expect to shoot good the next day. Now you can do that, but
not every day.
No,
not every day.
It's a grunt.
We did that where we stay out late and you have that one good day that you shoot, and then you stay out late again the next night, and that next day you got to pay that tax eventually. You cannot keep kicking that can down the road. There's only so many extensions you could file with the IRS. I mean, you're gonna pay, baby. You're gonna pay.
Oh no. Well, you're shooting lights out right now, so I think going into the Grand, it's going to be a great shoot. Hopefully the weather holds up. We don't get any bad storms.
It's going to be hot.
I know.
It's going to be a freaking, this year is going to be a scorcher. I can feel it. Like we had a couple cool years here going, and this one is going to be hot.
Yep.
We're going to see those berries and cherries running around, bringing banana bags to people left and right. It's going to be like,
with hot and Sparta means storms too.
Yeah, so. It does. I mean, every few years we get one that's just a freaking miserable, and I feel like this one is going to be like burn your hand on your gun barrel hot all week long.
Well, the good thing is with Big Red Motorsports, I got an air conditioned Can-Am, so I'm looking forward to it. And there's no spot in there for Zach.
Hey Jason, I could use some air conditioning. I know I'm not no Ricky Marshall, but I do have cash.
Well, we can fix you up with cash.
I got quiche. I got quiche, baby.
Zach, I'll sell you mine. You can.
I bet you would. Good deal.
Yeah. Yeah, Dagan, you might want to get one of them fans from Mike Jackson.
Yeah.
Those Milwaukee fans. And make your dad set it out there for you. Mike would love that.
Hey, Trop Talk listeners, let's take a quick second to thank a couple more amazing sponsors. SOS Clays Shoot Management. They're doing a fantastic job. I love the app. I love being able to see everything on my phone instantaneously. It's freaking awesome. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, Greg Pink and his group over there. I mean, they've got a majority of the satellite grands, majority of the state shoots. I think it's 40 plus state shoots they're doing. But the app, honestly, we were doing a little beta testing with that at the Spring Grand. It's awesome. You can see your squad if they paid. You can see your options, your payouts. The whole works at your fingertips. Great deal. They're just
Ricky knew how much money he made before he even got off the line. He was like, "Hey, I'm buying lunch." I'm like, "Yeah, good job. We're good to go."
That's
we
right.
also got gun and trophy insurance. I mean, they're the best in the business. I know they're great price. Ricky, you're familiar with them, right?
Yeah, Cole and Larry Cushman been long-time supporters of myself, and I've been a supporter of them, and especially with my college team. We require insurance. It's so fast and easy to sign up and get your insurance in literally 10 minutes. You can have your guns insured, and they're just great. They're great to deal with. Like I said, you can do your trophies also, your wildlife animals and that such, and your guns. It's just a great
It's always good when you're traveling around to have that peace of mind and know that you don't have to worry about losing your stuff forever. And these are expensive things, especially when you got those Craig-offs. You got to keep them insured. So,
exactly.
With that being said,
let's get back to the show.
Is there anything else you want to share before we get out of here, Dagan? Is there any people you'd like to thank again, sponsors or anything of that sort?
Yes, I obviously Krieghoff and Winchester, for all they do for me. I also would like to thank Justin Debris. He's always there with the Pilas. He's always wheeling and dealing and best person around to get some Pilas. So if you are looking for some Pilas, you know who to hit up.
hey, you know what? He's got that stuff right where you need it to be. Just head over to the trailer, knock on the door. You can probably get them from Wyatt. I don't know if Wyatt's going to actually bring Justin the money. Allegedly, he does.
I would recommend doing that because you might be sought after to collect the money again.
The collection department is a mofo when Justin Debris is involved. I promise you that. You like those knees? You got to pay. That's just the way it works. But he's been pretty good to me. I've always kept my knees around as long as I get those payments in timely manner. So, but yeah, Dagan, I think, I'm so excited to see what you're going to do. I have a feeling like you're going to break some big scores, maybe pop another 100. Is this 200s for this year, or do you already have 300s this year?
Yeah.
3. So we got a month left to make it 4.
Zach, he's got the same amount as you do in your career.
I know, and he did it in a year. I did it in a lifetime. See, Dagan,
I'm just messing with you.
He gets salty with me, He's got to throw me under the bus, Dagan. It's not my fault. I got a job. I got to work. I got all this crap.
Whoa. You
working hard.
Word softly with you.
Softly.
Hey, would you like to buy some insurance?
Or investments. We're here for the people.
There you go.
We're here for the people. But it's a good day, and I appreciate you coming on the show again, Dagan. If you pop 100 at the Grand, we'll just have you come in and do another episode talking about breaking 100s from the 27 and how to do it, because nobody knows how. But you definitely know how. So we'll catch you. Thanks for everyone listening. Enjoy your Grand. Come by the store. Say hi. Remember, we've got the live listener event this upcoming Tuesday at the Grand from 4 to 6 p.m. Swing by. We're going to be giving away all kinds of raffle.
August 5th?
August 5th. I think it's Tuesday, August 5th. 4 to 6. All kinds of raffle items that we're going to be giving away.
Bring your dad up. You stop up there. We'll get Mike some beer. Or
Dagan's going to be signing autographs. It'll be big. It'll be great.
Dagan in there. That's right.
We might have a hot dog or something for you to eat, but make sure you have your ticket. I ain't giving you 2 free hot dogs. So it's gonna be a good time, folks. We'll see you soon. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we appreciate you tuning in. Happy Friday.
Thanks, everyone. Good luck, everybody.
And the Trap Talk podcast is brought to you in part by
RM Shooting Clinics. Have Ricky take your game to the next level. If you want to shoot hundreds, give Ricky a call today. Zach Nannini Financial. We believe in putting people first.